The digital age, with its boundless information highways, has cultivated a peculiar fascination with the mortality of its celebrated figures. No star, it seems, can truly escape the internet's morbid curiosity, and perhaps no one has embodied this phenomenon quite like Chuck Norris. His name, synonymous with unparalleled strength and impossible feats, has repeatedly been whispered in the grim tones of premature eulogies, only for him to, quite literally, rise from the digital grave. It's a testament to the internet's power, both to build and to seemingly dismantle a legend. The first major whisper of his supposed demise rippled through the burgeoning online world like a virus. It was not a formal announcement, nor a tragic accident reported by credible sources. Instead, it was a quiet, insidious rumor, born in the murky corners of anonymous forums and fledgling social media platforms. A screenshot of a poorly photoshopped news headline, a cryptic post claiming an unnamed source, or perhaps just a single mischievous user testing the waters. The exact origin remains elusive, a ghost in the machine. Yet, it spread with astonishing speed, amplified by the very nature of information sharing, each share lending it a veneer of credibility, however thin. Chuck Norris, the man himself, initially met these reports with a characteristic blend of amusement and bemusement. He had faced down countless fictional adversaries, but an invisible digital enemy proclaiming his death was a new kind of challenge. Yet, far from being diminished, he embraced the absurdity, subtly leaning into the very myth the internet was inadvertently building around him. Before the memes, before the hoaxes, there was the man. Carlos Ray, Chuck Norris, was a formidable force long before the internet knew his name. A decorated martial artist, he founded his own discipline, Chun Kuk Do, and achieved multiple world championships. This real-life prowess transitioned seamlessly into a film career, where his stoic demeanor and incredible physical capabilities made him an icon of action cinema. From Way of the Dragon, alongside Bruce Lee, to his long-running television series, Walker, Texas Ranger, Norris carved a niche as the ultimate unstoppable hero. Then came the internet, and with it, the Chuck Norris facts phenomenon. These were not mere fan tributes. They were a cultural explosion. Absurd, hyperbolic statements like, Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups, he pushes the earth down. Or, when the boogeyman goes to sleep, he checks under his bed for Chuck Norris, transformed him from a respected action star into an invincible, almost supernatural meme. These facts resonated because they tapped into deep-seated cultural archetypes of heroism and invincibility, offering a humorous escape from the mundane. They went viral because they were easily digestible, endlessly adaptable, and profoundly funny, turning him into a digital deity. However, the media, ever hungry for clicks and sensationalism, often played a role in blurring the lines between these playful facts and actual news. What began as innocent humor sometimes morphed into something more sinister, as genuine reports of his passing, however false, gained traction. This amplification by mainstream outlets, even in the act of debunking, inadvertently lent credence to the very hoaxes they claimed to disavow. The constant cycle of death rumors, while entertaining to the masses, inevitably took a toll on those closest to him. Chuck Norris's family faced the distressing reality of repeatedly receiving condolences for a man still very much alive. The public image, once solely defined by his on-screen heroism, now had this macabre, darkly humorous undercurrent. Yet in a testament to his resilience, Norris himself, through self-deprecating humor and public appearances, skillfully navigated this bizarre landscape, further cementing his legend. He understood that in the digital age, sometimes the most profound truth is found in the most outrageous fiction. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Despite all the laughter, a subtle, unsettling question lingered. Does constantly joking about death diminish or strengthen the perception of life, especially when it concerns a legend who seems to defy it? The delicate balance between myth and reality, so carefully maintained, faced its next significant challenge with the emergence of a second, far more sophisticated wave of death hoaxes. This time, the misinformation wasn't a simple forum post. It arrived cloaked in the guise of legitimate news, often originating from expertly crafted fake news sites designed to mimic established media outlets. A fabricated article might detail a sudden, tragic illness or a freak accident, complete with official-looking logos and seemingly credible quotes. These digital fabrications spread like wildfire, often timed to coincide with real-world events or periods of heightened public anxiety, lending them an insidious air of plausibility. Tracing the origin of these more advanced hoaxes became a digital detective's nightmare. They often began in obscure corners of the internet, perhaps a dark web forum or a lesser-known social media group, before being amplified by sophisticated bot networks. These bots would systematically share the fake articles across platforms, tagging influential accounts and using trending hashtags, effectively catapulting the misinformation into the mainstream consciousness. The digital footprints were intentionally convoluted, designed to obscure the true architects of these malicious campaigns. Social media platforms, the very arteries of modern communication, inadvertently became accelerants for this misinformation. A single share on Twitter or a repost on Facebook could expose hundreds, even thousands, to the false narrative. The algorithms, designed to prioritize engagement, often inadvertently boosted sensational content, regardless of its veracity. A lurid headline about Chuck Norris's supposed demise, even if entirely false, generated clicks and reactions, thus being pushed further into users' feeds. The speed at which these platforms operate left little room for fact-checking before the damage was done. The public's credulity, a perennial feature of the human condition, was mercilessly exploited. In an age of information overload, many individuals, overwhelmed by the sheer volume of news, defaulted to believing what they saw first, especially if it confirmed a latent morbid curiosity. The sensational often trumped the verified, and the desire to be the first to share a shocking piece of news often overshadowed the responsibility to verify its truth. People were quick to believe and share, often without a second thought, creating an echo chamber of falsehoods. The why behind these hoaxes remained a chilling question. Was it simply for attention, a perverse desire for viral notoriety? Was it malice, a deliberate attempt to cause distress to Chuck Norris and his family? Or perhaps, in some cases, it was a bizarre social experiment, testing the limits of public gullibility. Whatever the motivation, the impact was undeniably real and deeply personal. The emotional toll on Chuck Norris's loved ones was immense. Imagine the phone calls, the panicked texts, the genuine grief experienced by his family each time a new death hoax surfaced. They lived in a constant state of vigilance, bracing themselves for the next digital assault. The confusion and distress caused by these rumors were not abstract. They were visceral, impacting their daily lives. How do you explain to a grandchild that their grandfather, whom they just saw, is being reported as deceased across the internet? His family had to repeatedly step forward, issuing statements, making public appearances, and directly debunking the claims. Yet, they faced an uphill battle against public skepticism. Some online users, convinced by the elaborate hoaxes, even accused the family of covering up a tragedy, adding another layer of cruelty to their ordeal. The constant need to prove his existence, to counter an invisible enemy, was exhausting and emotionally draining. The vengeance of the internet, once a source of adoration that built the Chuck Norris facts, now seemed to turn on him with a morbid curiosity. The very community that had elevated him to meme god status now seemed to revel in the possibility of his demise, consuming and sharing the false reports with an unsettling eagerness. It was a stark reminder of the fickle nature of online fame. Yet amidst the digital cacophony, there were moments of genuine affection. Fans, those true believers, would rally to defend him, sharing real news, posting pictures of his recent appearances, and actively debunking the hoaxes themselves. These moments showcased a powerful undercurrent of loyalty, a testament to the real impact Chuck Norris had on people's lives beyond the internet's transient trends. But the experience left an undeniable mark, a stark realization that even in a digital age, reputation and perception, once painstakingly built, could be brutally manipulated by unseen forces. The ultimate paradox of Chuck Norris's digital existence is how these repeated, morbid pronouncements of his demise have, with a stroke of ironic genius, only served to cement his immortality. Each fabricated headline, every viral hoax proclaiming his death, inadvertently added another layer to the impenetrable legend that began with a roundhouse kick and evolved into an internet phenomenon. He transcended the physical limitations of mortality, not by avoiding death, but by having it declared so often that it became meaningless, a running joke against the backdrop of his enduring vitality. His journey from an esteemed action hero and martial artist to a beloved meme, and now to an enduring cultural fixture, showcases the incredible power of collective narrative. The Chuck Norris facts, born from the playful irreverence of early internet culture, were not just jokes. They were modern folklore, miniature epic poems celebrating superhuman strength and an indomitable spirit. They etched his persona into the global consciousness, transforming him from a man into an archetype, a symbol. These individual stories, even fictional ones, became the bedrock of a shared cultural memory, ensuring that long after the dust settles on any digital skirmish, the legend of Chuck Norris will persist. Beyond the man, Chuck Norris has become a symbol of resilience, strength, and unwavering determination. In a world increasingly prone to fleeting trends and disposable heroes, his consistent presence, both online and in real life, stands as a testament to staying power. The Chuck Norris facts are not merely humorous anecdotes. They are a contemporary form of storytelling, reflecting a primal human need for larger-than-life figures, for heroes who defy the ordinary. They are the sagas of our digital age, passed from screen to screen, cementing his place in the pantheon of cultural icons. His continued public appearances, often punctuated by a wry smile or a self-aware nod to his legendary status, served as the ultimate proof of life, an unbreakable spirit shining through the digital haze. Each time he stepped into the light, healthy and vigorous, he wasn't just debunking a rumor, he was performing an act of defiance, a living embodiment of the Chuck Norris cannot die mantra. This wasn't merely about personal survival, it was a message of hope, an example of how one can overcome adversity, maintain relevance, and even thrive amidst constant, often malicious, scrutiny. The legacy of Chuck Norris is multifaceted, resonating differently across generations. To some, he remains the martial arts icon who revolutionized action cinema. To others, he is the undisputed meme god, the subject of countless internet jokes. Yet to all, he is an enduring figure, a testament to the fact that true impact transcends fleeting fame. His story illustrates how a persona, meticulously crafted over decades and then wildly reinterpreted by the internet, can achieve a form of immortality. The final truth, the ultimate victory over the relentless barrage of death rumors, wasn't found in debunking each one individually. It was found in outliving them, in making them an intrinsic, even humorous part of his legend. The constant proclamations of his demise, rather than diminishing him, inadvertently served as a continuous, albeit morbid, PR campaign, reminding the world of his existence and his unique place in cultural history. These hoaxes became less about his death and more about the impossibility of it. Thus, the climactic resolution unfolds. Chuck Norris cannot truly die as long as his legend lives on in the collective consciousness. His physical form may be subject to the laws of nature, but the Chuck Norris of myth, the invincible force of nature, the meme god, has achieved a digital immortality that transcends the biological. He is a testament to the enduring power of narrative, the collective imagination, and the ironic twist of fate that transformed repeated death hoaxes into the very bedrock of an unbreakable, timeless legend. The Internet, his greatest adversary and amplifier, inadvertently crowned him eternal.